Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Indie Comics Report. My name is Mr. Anderson, the Indie Devil, and today we're going to be talking about the Comic-Con forecast and the crowdfunding report. I know it's Labor Day weekend coming up for some of you listening to the radio program, and I know that you guys are excited that the summer vacations are kind of over, and guys can get back to. Hold on one second. All right, I'm gonna continue the video, but I had a little bit of a snafu on the recording, so we're gonna have to start over. Sometimes this happens when I record the program. It's just one of those things. So we're gonna see if we can fix that so it doesn't happen. And let's try this again. Hey everybody, it's me, the Indie Devil, Mr. Anderson. Welcome to the Indie Comics Report on GEEK Radio America Network. I'm super excited to bring you guys the crowdfunding report and the forecast. Of course, Labor Day weekend is here. That means summer vacation is over for a lot of people, but that's all right because I love the fall. How about you guys? Do you guys love the fall? I love the fall. So we're going to be talking about the forecast, and we're going to be doing the crowdfunding report right now. So we're going to get right into it. So here's our crowdfunding report for the Labor Day weekend and beyond. Dragon Con's going on. We have the amazing J.R. Mounts, who's going to be at Dragon Con doing his amazing new take on art where he actually shows you a person and then shows you what the shadow means. And it's very powerful, and you got to go check out my man J.R. Mounts. He is amazing. Speaking of amazing, at BergCon, we got two very amazing creators. Brian K. Morris and Sean Delaney are going to be in BergCon. And BergCon goes on at the Bornin Business Center in Harrisburg, Illinois. And Dragon Con it's all over Atlanta, Georgia. Now, while we're recording this, we are having a hurricane bearing down on us, so I don't know if it will affect Dragon Con. Hopefully it does not. We don't know yet, so stay tuned to your local forecast to see if any weather will affect Dragon Con. Now, we're going to head over to Convention Scene, and we're going to check out this week, which is going to be short because of Labor Day weekend. We have Indiana Comic Con. That's the 30th through the 1st in Indianapolis. We have the Harrisburg Berg Comics Con, which of course Brian K. Morris is at, and that's on the 31st in Illinois. And on the 31st through the 1st in Long Beach, California, will be the Long Beach Comic Con. Now we're going to head over to next weekend as well, giving you guys an opportunity to start planning next weekend's activities, which start in Long Beach, California at Long Beach Comic Con. And that's the 31st through the 1st of September. That's right, we're already into September, guys, and that is all the convention scene actually has for the following weekend. But don't fret, my friends. We have some more stuff for you guys. Actually, no, wait, I'm reading that wrong. Oh, excuse me. There are some more over here. I just read it wrong. Long Beach is this weekend. I just didn't get my days right. That's what happens sometimes. You get Swiss cheese brain when you're reading things. So the following weekend, which is the 5th through the 7th, has Salt Lake City, Utah's Fan X Salt Lake Comic Convention. That's going to be going on the 5th through the 7th. And on the 7th will be the West Allis, Wisconsin's going to have the Milwaukee Comic Con. And that's going to be at the Wisconsin State Park on the 7th. The 7th also through the 8th has Space Coast Comic Con, which me and Travis Gibb and some other people are going to be at. So stay tuned in a minute. We're going to talk more about that. And that happens at Cocoa, Florida. I think I'm saying that wrong, but we're going to go for it. It looks like Cocoa to me. The 7th through the 8th in Little Rock, Arkansas will be the Arkansas Comic Con. Also the 7th through the 8th in Elkhart, Indianapolis will be the Hall of Heroes Comic Con. And the Fairfax, Virginia Comic Con goes on the 7th through the 8th. And on the 8th in Laurel, Maryland will be the Comic Book and More Show. And of course, we'll talk more about these next week as well, as we'll probably add some creators that we know are going. But for now, let's talk about that next week and give you guys the exciting news that not only will I be at Space Coast Comic Con with Travis Gibb, but Travis Gibb's also going to have a crowdfunding your next project panel. It's the first time he's putting on this particular panel. He is a pro at panels, but this is going to be his panel going on throughout the Florida area and beyond. He's going to be able to give this amazing insight to crowdfunding to many different creators. Joe Rodriguez is going to be joining us at that event, as well as I believe MD McDonald's going to be there, and Marcus H. Roberts. All are going to be in attendance, and I think I'm missing someone else, but don't worry, it's next week we're going to get some more names added in here for you guys, because there are, I believe, a couple other people who are going to be there, and I believe our friend Martha Schwartz is supposed to be there. So it's pretty exciting. There are more people, of course, coming. That's a week away. We'll be adding more next Monday, and we're excited to be going to Space Coast. Brian K. Morris also is going to be having an appearance next weekend. Stay tuned for more on that. And remember that anyone can be an indie advocate. That's right. If you want to advocate for indie creators, go out to a convention and support them by buying their books. But if you want to also support them from home, well, join us on our site. Go to indieadvocates.com and go to, in our menu, the simple and easy menu tab that says now crowdfunding. You do that, you get the crowdfunding report. And here's what's on the report right now. The Legacy of the View, #1. Legacy of the View blends the elements of American comics anime pacing with urban music culture. And that ends on the 28th. So some of you on the radio program might not have been able to back it, but we are also filming this live, believe it or not, for our Facebook audience, so they can back it today. Project Shadow Breed, Volume 1. That ends on the 31st. Again, the radio program listeners might not be able to back it, but the people watching on our Facebook feed can. That's Project Shadow Breed, Volume #1. Discover the world of Project Shadow Breed. And Corvette and Sparrow, Birds of a Feather, a 66-page graphic novel. That's available to September 4th. You guys on the radio can get on that. Anthony Moore presents Realms 1, an all-out fantasy comic book for all ages. That ends on September 5th. The Night, #3, the epic comic book action, fantasy, and mystery adventure is back and on Kickstarter until the 6th. Make sure you get your copy today. The Bug War, Volume 1, 80-page sci-fi graphic novel. An unknown alien race kills the first contact party, capitulating the space-faring consortium civilization to war. Can they win? Oh my, that ends on the 7th as well. And the Red Talon has invaded Indiegogo. Ready yourself for more action and compelling storyline in Red Talon, issue #2. And Tales from Nerosville, issues 1, 2, and 3. Nerosville has more heroes and villains than any other city on the planet. What could go wrong? And that's on Indiegogo until the 13th. Dan Sheen presents Nature Man, issue #1. The return of the beloved public domain character. He's been aged, and he is back for business. So you can get that amazing issue until the 15th of September. Knox the Fox, A Hero's Stories Begin. A hero takes his first steps into the dangers of the superpowered city. An intro into the Knox and Fox universe. That ends on the 16th. Also, Dean Kish has brought back the amazing Tainted series for a second issue. This is 2 of 5. It is the second chapter of the Tainted saga. In this new action-packed drama comic, we will reveal the truth behind the cult and Creek's ultimate mission. Oh my. Sounds exciting, and that goes until the 20th. And remember, $1 can show support, make dreams come true, attract attention, funds projects, supports creators, and creates new worlds. And if you're creating a Kickstarter to create a new world, get on Amazon, Kickstarter for the Name of the Creator, a second and practical guide to crowdfunding. That is available every day. And don't forget that the Advocator Presents carves its way into your hearts this Halloween, live on Kickstarter on 9/19. That's September 9th. And Cat Dad Rises again on Kickstarter. That'll be live on Kickstarter October 1st, and it's going to be The Power of the Stink versus Cat Dad and Supermom. All right, guys, that's it for now. We'll see you next weekend for another exciting edition of the Indie Comics Report. All right, so the radio program is done. If you guys have a convention or you have any links that you want us to put in, please show it to us now. We're going to go over some stuff, but I wanted to show some love to the projects that are ending today. So what we're going to show is the Legacy of the View. Oh, I had it on mute.
Yo, it's me, Specs, and this is my Indiegogo campaign for my first comic book, The Legacy of the View. But before I tell you about that, I'll tell you about myself first. Of course, I'm a DJ and a videographer, and I'm a father and a fiance. And now I'm a comic book creator. I'm the creator of Legacy of You, which is about a high school student named Chaz that's pretty average. He's a baseball player, a video game player, a hip-hop dancer, with a passion for music that has him intern at his uncle's recording studio as an engineer. These are all things he enjoys, but one thing stops him from doing all these: his secret identity as a View. As a View, Chaz has to defend the city against various villains that roam around town. From the ones who try to get a quick lick, for the ones that have plans for personal gain, and the ones who wants to use the human race as a power source. He has the power to spawn items from a dark energy that he has inherited. If you like anime, you will like this. No, it's not a manga, it's more American. It's a combination between Spider-Man, the Green Lantern, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and any show on Jump series you have read or watched. I have 25 issues already written, with 100 issues planned, with multiple spin-offs for the universe. This project's already funded from out my pocket, so I'm just looking for crowdfunding to gain more fans, more supporters for my project. So if you like the sound of this, please support my comic, Legacy of You, and also support myself. Thank y'all.
You guys heard my my phone went off, and the funny thing is that the phone goes off when I do these things actually on my PC, because for those who don't know, if you have an iMac or any Apple product, even if you turn off your ringer, there's this annoying habit of the computer itself ringing. So, and it was funny because I thought I had muted it, but I guess I hadn't muted the call going through. I gotta look at that. But I hope you guys support this amazing Kickstarter. Let's take a look at some other stuff and then send you on your way. And like I said, if you guys got links, if you guys got somewhere you're going to be, please put it on. We still have a Thursday show to film this week, and a Friday show we're going to be filming. So we're going to be updating you on the weather conditions for Dragon Con as they break. So hopefully we know about a little bit more by Friday. Let's see. We're doing a rates debate today. Artists, how do you... Ooh, we're going to have to fix that. That's not worded right. I was trying to fix it to make it perfect. Clearly I didn't do it. How do you price artists? How does one... Oh, there we go. How does one price themselves? There we go. How does one price themselves to get work, but also get what they are worth? See, it's harder because sometimes you got to land it in here because you want it big, and it's not always easy to get that big spot open because you only have so many characters. But we've gotten some good feedback. I want to hear some more. We've been trying to talk about pricing this week, just to get an idea of how people price themselves, and also for new creators, because one of the number one things people ask me is what should they price themselves for. It's not always an easy conversation. So I figured I'd ask you guys what pricing looks like. All right, so what do we got over here? Today we've been talking about tips for social media survival and keeping your sanity. Post yours below. This we're going to wind up putting on our site. It's been a pretty productive conversation. We've had some great insight. Brian K. Moore says, get away from it every now and then. Every 24 hours away from the basic toxicity is helpful to one's psyche survival. And it's true. You got to get away from it. That's what a lot of people are saying. I have a tendency to kind of test the waters with certain things to see what kind of people I'm dealing with. Not only the people who are making comments, but I also like to see if the person who posted it, if they're really a good person or not. Because I stop fights in my comment section a lot. As a matter of fact, I posted in the middle of having a bad headache. I found something to be funny. And honestly, I did not think a lot of people would get too offended about it. For those who don't know, I'm very against socialism. I don't talk a lot about politics, but I don't like socialism. My family happened to be, I had family members tortured and escaping socialist aggressions. And I know everyone's going to be like, oh, that's not real socialism. Whatever. Don't want to have the debate. When it happens to your family, you can come talk to me. Until then, I'm not a fan of socialism, because socialism always comes with guns and enforcement of taking things from people. So I have a problem with it. So I posted this thing about Bernie Sanders, which, by the way, I don't dislike the man as a person. I just don't think he'd make an excellent leader. And it was something about him giving away things for free. It was meant as tongue-in-cheek, but a few people had taken offense to it. And then I had some other friends who decided to take offense to them taking offense. And of course, little fights broke out. People were talking about being biased. Like, people were being flat out rude. And I'm not a tolerator of rude. So I kind of wanted to talk to other people and figure out, like, what do you do on social media, you know? Because sometimes you just mean to share something and you just meant it, you just thought it was funny. Sometimes we don't think about what we share. We just share it because in that moment when we read it, we were like, that's kind of funny, or that's this, or it's that. I mean, sometimes we don't think it's going to be harmful. Sometimes we don't see it for being something that's going to upset people. And I mean, sometimes that is a thing that happens. And I've seen people get offended over some of the weirder stuff in life. And, you know, I'm trying to see if I can quickly call it up. Because I didn't think it was a big deal, but it did seem to offend people. But people came in real hard with it and tried to make it something. Here we go. So this is all I shared. And it became a thing. It really did. And this is, of course, meant as a tongue-in-cheek thing. However, there are interviews where Bernie Sanders has said that more things should be free. And he talks about giving things for free. This is just a true statement in a certain respect. And of course, there's more of a nuance to it, but it's a meme. It's not supposed to be groundbreaking. This isn't a college thesis. It's a tongue-in-cheek moment. And I thought it was kind of a funny contrast between it. Because there was this time where it was asked not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Such a powerful statement to what I now see as people trying to, I guess, just not prepare our culture for giving something back. That's all. That's all I really saw it as, me personally. And no one asked me. No one ever asked why I shared it, but that was it. Because I was raised by you had to earn your stuff. You have to work hard. If you work hard, you get rewarded. And I just meant it that way. And it was very simple because I was raised, I guess, by a different generation. My family happens to be immigrants on one side. I'm first generation. For my mother was an immigrant, so I'm first generation technically on one side. My dad, their family had been here since the Civil War, so that was somewhat different. It's different aspects, you know? And you never know. I didn't mean it at all for the way that some people meant it. I just don't like the idea of socialism. I don't like the idea of giving things away for free because it's not even free. So in my mind, it was something more complicated, right? But even something this simple can be twisted. People begin to put words in your mouth and make it something they didn't want. And I don't know. I don't know if I had not had a bad headache and I had, because at the time I was at a speech therapy with Jax. And I saw it and I merely shared it. And it had 155 comments and more than that because I deleted a bunch of people fighting. And again, I didn't mean anyone to be offended by this, but some of the people were getting just rude. And I had to hand some people a reality pill and let them know that they don't come into my threads and ever act rudely and attack people. I even unfriended, I think, 3 or 4 people, and it was just a handful of people that were very nasty. There were some good conversations in as well. The moral of the story is that kind of think before you share, and I should have probably thought a little bit more because I shared it literally just whimsically, like, oh, this is cool, I'll share it. And I never thought, what am I sharing? So one of the things I'm going to instill in myself going forward is before I share something, I'm going to ask myself, is this something I should share? Is this something that could offend somebody? Is this someone's going to cause me grief? Because as much as I don't like there to be censorship in the things I say, and I know a lot of people agree with me, and I have a lot of people who have agreed with the idea that censorship is evil. As much as I want to believe that, the truth is that I just don't have the energy to deal with nonsense. And if it's not something I wrote, then I don't really need to stand by it. To be honest with you, I would have never brought up anything with Bernie Sanders on my own. It was not something that motivated me that much. So in that regard, it was a mistake. But perfect example, I share a lot of things from other creators, as you guys can see. But there was something. Okay, so I shared this. And this came out of Apple News, and the Brazilian president demands apology before accepting 20 million tell Amazon fires. Now, in all credit, no one even liked it, nor commented on it. Which, this is something that pissed me off because, like I said, this is what's wrong with the world, egos before life. And this is a very serious circumstance happening where the Amazon fires are raging out of control, and someone would stop something. Oh, God. She wants to get back on the show. For those who listened to the show yesterday, you guys know that Amazon, or I can't say her name because she's in this room too and she'll respond, but that Amazon AI, she keeps talking during our shows lately. I think she's still talking in the living room. I just closed my door. So something like this, clearly I was able to share and no one got offended. But it's a risk, and you have to ask yourself, am I willing to risk? Something like this, I am willing to risk someone getting a little upset, because it did upset me. It does upset me, and I wanted to bring almost awareness to the fact that, I guess it upset me so much, I just wanted people to see it, because it was a blatant thing, to be honest with you. Not that I thought anyone could change it, because I know this is above our pay grade. But I mean, maybe someone could learn from this moment that sometimes ego should be put away. So, then again, I also shared the Drowning Parrot. He actually sings the Drowning Pool song, Let the Body Set the Floor. So, it's not all serious on my page. And a lot of times it's more art and stuff. I think sometimes when I have a headache, I have a tendency to share things I probably shouldn't. I should start staying off of social media when I have migraines. Because I don't really think as much when I share things. I'm in a lot of pain, but you have to be mindful of that, and you have to be mindful of the fact that people are going to judge you very harshly for all the things you do in life. They are. It's not cool, it's not fun, it's not fair, but it is what it is, and you got to be used to it, and you got to get used to it, and you got to adapt, because you want to be a public figure. Sometimes you're going to have this, and you're going to share something, you're going to say something that someone decides to take out of context, or they're going to make something out of it. This is just the world, but sometimes it's nice to be around other people. And I look at it this way. Sometimes when people get offended on my page, it's very easy to remove them and make sure that they never bother me again. And I'll put here, even here, like just as a tongue-in-cheek moment, in the thing, block people who talk too much. So I said, I am told I talk too much. Am I getting blocked? And I meant it really as a joke. And he said, why are you questioning me? This is my tip. Don't start a drama. And I didn't mean it that way. And I apologized. And I did say, I was kidding with you. They do need a humor font, and I do believe that. I think sometimes we honestly just say something we meant as joking. Because I meant it jokingly. Oh no, like, you block people who talk too much. Am I in trouble? Like, ha ha, he. And sometimes things get taken the wrong way. And I wanted to show this moment because I think not only did he handle it well, because he just said, why are you questioning me? This is my tip. Don't start any drama. And I agree with him if I was trying to start drama. And he did accept my apology, so it ended well, and I had to explain myself. I did say I was kidding with you. They do need a humor font. You are good. Just wanted to add humor. It was a joke on me. Sorry it wasn't clearer. Was making fun of how much I post. And he said, no problem. And, that happens sometimes. Sometimes we get a misconnection. And I want you guys to realize that, I could have been like, oh, what do you mean I'm starting drama? And I could have been a douche. And he could have been a douche right away, being like, why are you being an asshole? Instead, people talked to each other, and we resolved it very quickly. It was just a misunderstanding. Keep that in mind when you're on social media. Half the things that people get upset about are probably just misunderstandings. All right. What else do we have going on? Of course, we have the IndieWire, which is going on today. Let's see. Here we go. We got the IndieWire for you guys to put your stuff in for. Here we go. We got some stuff. Let's see what we got. We got Shaky Subject Matters podcast from Mike Welch. And we have Gudo giving us the Night 3 Kickstarter. If there was a video, I would actually play it for them. There's just no video. That's why I haven't given it much love, but I'll give it a stream here because we did that. I love the profiles they put up for the characters. Look at this dude. Dragon Breath. It looks so badass. I love the art in this project. I've read the book. I'm a fan of the book. And the only reason I don't think it shows the fact that I've backed the project and you guys can't see it is that I'm not logged in. I don't log in anymore when I do these shows. In case I didn't back a project, but you'll never hear me say I backed a project if I haven't. I've never lied about backing a project. If I said I backed it, I at least think I did. There has been occasion where I've talked about something so much I assumed I backed it and it turned out I didn't. That was embarrassing. So there are a lot of interesting and great projects going on right now. Of course, I think there's going to be some good stuff coming. But the Nature Man kind of was like, oh, look at that. We just did Nature Boy. I like Knox the Fox. Tainted, I'm a huge fan of. The Knuckles Super Studios just makes me laugh every time I read it. So there's a bunch of great. There's Realms right here and Covert and Sparrow and the Shadow Breed. There's so many great ways to support creators. You guys can go out there and become, that's right, an indie advocate by supporting creators, by helping creators create their new worlds, by being out there and talking about what you're reading. That all makes you an indie advocate. So you are one of us. And to become one of us, all you have to do is go out there and actually show some support and some love. So do that. Go out there, show some love, show some support. Be my hero and become an indie advocate. That's it for now, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go try to get rid of this 2-day headache that I've been having. This has been an Indie Comics Report. For today was crowdfunding forecast and news. We will be back on air tomorrow, probably at our regular time. This is a weird time of the year here. We have a lot of bad weather, and that bad weather sometimes causes me not to be able to go live, as we've already experienced once this week, where we couldn't do the show on Monday, but I think we're good for now. We will put this out there, and for those of you who are going to stay tuned right now, we're going to probably, well, not stay tuned for this program, but for tomorrow, we'll probably update you a little bit on Dragon Con, but we'll make sure to lean into it on Friday. So that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Mr. Anderson. This has been an edition of... you know what I mean, of the Indie Advocates Network, the site that advocates for indie comics and their creators, and gave birth to the Advocator Presents, which is coming back out on September 9th. All right, that's it, guys. I'll talk to everyone soon.